So it's day 2 here in Scotland. It's another cold start. The car is currently defrosting, and Mr Thomas Heaton turned up last night, so he's going to join me today. Now, he had a fantastic time in Glen by the looks of it, some great conditions, so I'm hoping he's brought some of those good conditions with him, so let's go and find out. So I've just come across this rather lovely pine tree which is just leaning over the top of these fantastic mountains, and the light's just kissing the mountains now, so actually I'll take another quick shot. So yeah, what I'm doing is I find the tree quite interesting. It's just kind of intersecting a couple of the mountains in the background, and it's just leaning over slightly from left to right, so it works quite well with the mountain on the right. In order to kind of bring in all this tree, I'm having to bring in quite a lot of foreground down here as well. So there's a little bit of scruffy white space, which isn't ideal, but that kind of white space there feels quite nicely balanced with the mountain over on the right. So, most of the frame has been filled, but there's a nice feeling of space about it as well, which I quite like. There's a dead tree over on the left-hand side of the frame. I quite like that. I've purposely included it, but I've also purposely left a little bit of space between the dead tree and the branch that's coming off this pine tree off to the left. I want it to be part and parcel of the scene, because I can't ignore it, I can't take it out, so I want to consciously make it part of the scene. Now, I'm looking at this thinking, oh, I wish I was stood here yesterday morning when all the mist was kind of blowing down through the valley, because it just really would have cleaned the scene up and made it a much more atmospheric shot. But what we've got now is all the pine forest down in the valley, which is again a problem which I've had generally walking around. It's very dark, it's very dark green, there's no light down there, and it's the same with this subject as well. There's been a hint of reflected light, which is going to allow me to bring out some of the details of this tree, but it's not ideal. But the most important thing is that I found a nice subject. I'm here for a few more days. If the conditions are ideal, then I'll come back and shoot it again, because it is a lovely tree and a really nice view behind it. And well, I think Tom's just over the hill. That he can't be very far away, because Meg's just stood on the brow of the hill here, and she likes to do this thing when she kind of gets to know the other person that I'm with. She wants to keep an eye on everybody, so she's just stood between the two of us now. But it's just incredibly peaceful. That's the great thing about the Caledonian pine forest as well in this area, is that as soon as you come off the path and you start to get amongst the forest, there's just nobody. There's no footpaths. You've just kind of got to trudge your way, and it's fabulous. And when you can stand here in complete solitude, well, apart from Tom, it's incredibly peaceful and relaxing. And when you've got views like that to yourself, this is why we do it. Amazing, gorgeous bit of light on there now. But yeah, not ideal, not perfect conditions, but definitely worth a shot anyway. Oh, it's starting to snow. That's a good thing, I'm quite excited by that. You might be able to see that the mountains are disappearing there now, so I think now that snow might be arriving. It's just very, very thin flakes at the minute, but you never know, we might get lucky and get some big fat fluffy ones. So I think we're going to head back into the trees, because if we get some good snowfall, then that'll be a good place to be. Right, let's go.
Simon!
Ah!
It's snowing!
It's snowing! Someone's excited.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
So we've made our way further up this hill and it is absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I mean, the conditions aren't perfect by any means, but I just get a real kick out of discovering somewhere new. I mean, I've been to this glen a couple of times in the past. This is my third week here now, but I've never been to this particular spot, and I just think it's wonderful. It really is. These lone pine trees just dotted around. It gives you so many opportunities for compositions, but also this more elevated view. I can look across the forest and the lochs and the mountains and just really soak it all in. It's lovely. So I am regretting not having my 7200. That would give me more opportunities up here. But I'm just taking really quite a minimalist shot of these trees up on the hillside in the distance there. So what I've decided to do is go for a 16:9 aspect ratio. I'm bringing in this group of trees over on the left, and then further on the right we've got another tree and then a dead one on the very far right, and I want to bring in all those together. And then it's kind of disappearing now, but you could sort of get a hint of the mountain in the background as well, which could just give a little bit of texture. So I'm giving it plenty of room. I'll probably have the trees coming up to about halfway in the composition. Lots of space above because I want that feeling of space. I want it to feel quite calm and airy and quite high key. So I've overexposed by about 1.3 stops. And yeah, I think it should work. I think it should work out all right. The snow's getting heavier now, so sorry, it's obscuring the lens a little bit. So I'm going to wander around a little bit more, see if I can get some more, slightly more intimate shots with some of these pine trees, particularly if the snow starts to settle on them. That would be really, really nice. I'll go and catch up with Tom and see what he's doing. He's just down on the hillside there, standing out in his bright orange jacket. So these were the trees which I was photographing from the other side, you know, when I had that quite minimalist scene.
Simon, come in.
Oh, there's Tom on the radio. Are you gorgeous?
Very good, very good. This kettle isn't going to boil itself, you know.
Is it? He wants to go back for a cuppa. Right, I'm coming. Make sure that you've got some hot sausage buns on the go as well, please.
So scrap that. I've just found another composition, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
So yes, but coming this side of the trees, it's showing up the detail a lot more, and the landscape behind starting to reveal now, so we can get a bit more of an idea of the lay of the land. So we've got the loch in the distance. So, and it's quite nice, and it's showing out the character of the trees a little bit more as well. So I'm going to take a shot of this as well, just for comparison again. Two completely different types of shots, to be honest. So yeah, as Tom said, he wants to go for a cup of tea, and I'm not saying no to that. So I'll get cracking, and then we'll come back out late this afternoon. So after a very productive morning on the hillside, we've got pretty chilly, so it's good to get back and have a hot cup of tea under the luxury of Thomas's camper van. So we're probably going to get out this afternoon again, but I'm going to finish this episode here. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you for the next one. Cheers.